Good morning everyone, it's Behzad here again from Hey World Coder. Welcome back to another video of how to building a login app for Android using Android Studio in Java language. From last video we created a menu item for our user, and that lets the user to sign into our app, and if they are going to change their password or they are going to log out, they can easily do it. In today's video, we are going to work on preparing our reset password layout. We are in our welcome page. We do not need these pages. Just close all of them. Go to your project on left hand side. Open up your app, your Java file, the top folder, and we have here forgot password page. This is the hard codes one. Open it. Then we need our XML layout as well. Just go to your resources here, click on layout, and forgot password XML layout. So just minimize the project. We are on our text side. This is our point of view. Just go to middle section here on top right corner, click, and here we can write down our codes. The first thing we need to do is we have to change our layout to linear layout. How are you going to do it? Just click on here, drag, do not delete it, just hold it there and retype a linear layout. And it will automatically bring it up for you. Bring down in the XML. We are inside our first tag here. Just click down, put a padding as a 20 dp. We need the orientation as vertical. That does the job. And now we are between these two tags. We are going to create our layout. What do we need from our reset password page? We need an edit text to get an email from the user, and we need a button to change the password button. So create an edit text. The width will be match parent. The height will be 50 dp. Then forward slash here. First thing before forgetting, we need to give an ID to it. Just put down ID, positive ID, because we have to create a new ID for it. User forgot password email. Why email? Because we are going to get an email from our user. Come down here. With the gravity of our layout is going to be center of our screen. Margin top 150 dp or 200. Hint, it will be enter your email. We are going to give a padding to it, internal padding at 10 dp will work. And text input is going to be, input type, it will be email address. That's done for now. The email address is accepted. You're coming down, we need a button. Just write down a button. The width it will be match parent. The height it will be 50 dp. Forward slash. And the ID. Reset password button. Gravity of our layout, it will be center. It will stay in the center of our parent layout. Then we are going to give a margin top 50 dp. Text, it shows what this button is going to do. Reset password. That work and all set. So we set it up and edit text to accept an email, and we reset password button. So go to your forgot password page in the Java codes. We are here. First step, create your container. Write down on create on top and copy it, bring it down here. Now this is our main bracket. Just simply write down main. That's set up. Bring up in our field area above your onCreate, we need a tag, LOGT, and that creates a tag for us coming down. So we need we're bending for this particular activity. So what is the activity's name is forgot password page. So write down forgot password page, and it will should make it for you ready. Forgot password page bending. This is our activity names, and this is a bending. Click, and this we need to create any variables according to this class. Just write down forgot password bending. So we'll create one with a small f for you. Semicolon here. That is ready. We need a Firebase instance to let the user to reset their password. Just write down private, capital F as a Firebase auth. We need to create a variable based on this class. Just put down Firebase auth and semicolon. That help, and let's move on. We are inside our onCreate below your super. So we have to initialize this variable to a class. So write it down, forgot password bending with a small f equals to the capital one, forgot password page bending with a capital F. We need to get a root or inflator to that main view bending. Tab, get layout inflator, semicolon, come down. We need to set up a view, just write down a small view equals to get a root to our project or our to our variables that we got an instance or inflator for it. So we write down with a small f dot get a root, semicolon. So set content view is based on our XML, but we are going to set it up to this initial view we have customized here. Delete here the resources and just write down view. That all it will handle the view bending for you. Come down here. We need to get an instance for this variable we created here. Write down Firebase auth equals, so we need get an instance from our main class. So capital F dot get instance and semicolon. That help, and minimize here. Now we are going to create a method which it will handle the user internal information, and it will transfer them, and it will show a message or send the user email address to reset their password. So create a container, reset password method, but it's going to be used, it runs inside onCreate. So it is a private, it is a void, reset password, curly bracket. Before you're forgetting, you just copy your comment on the start of your method and bring it down here, and that will create a container, as you know. Then we need a debugger here to make sure that this method is going to be used and is running smoothly. Just write down logd, so create a debugger, reset password run. That shows a message for us. So the first thing we need to do is, this is a text. Whatever the user puts here as an entry, it is a text. We have to get a text and convert it to a string. As you remember from our previous video, how are we going to do it? Because we have only one variable here and it's not going to be used somewhere else. We can create it as a field variable here, or sorry, local variable. So we can create it inside a method because it's not going to be used anywhere else in this activity. Just write down a string. We give a name to it, just email equals to, now we did get an instance from our view bending. So forgot password bending. That what is going to get is going to get a user forgot password email. What is the entry? Is a text. What converted to string. And here, because it is an email and it may be leave somewhat space here, we have to add our trim method here as well to just make sure the user have entered the exactly same email address they registered to our app with. Come down, we are going to create an if-else loop condition to checking if the section is empty or no, and then we move on if the section is not empty. That means the user already put something inside our edit password section. Just write down an if else here. So we're checking if the email is empty or no. Email.is empty. If it is empty, we are showing a toast message. Field cannot be empty. If the field is not empty, then we have to move on and send a reset password link to the user email. How are we going to do it? Just write down Firebase auth dot send password reset email. The top one is the task. Dot add uncomplete listener, because we have to handle this task. New uncomplete listener. And it will create a task for us and semicolon here. So here we have an error because it needs a string. So a string, where it's come from? It's come from the email address or this string variable we created right now. Just put down email here and it will handle it. Then the rest it will handle if this task sending password to this email address or this string, if that is successful, do something. If it's not successful, do something else. We need another if-else loop condition. The first thing we are going to check if the task is successful. Write it down, task that is successful. Where is the task came from? Is a variable here in this task void. We're checking if it's successful. Then we need to sign out the Firebase user, finish the activity, and send the user back to the login page. Let me write it down and I will explain it to you. Firebase auth.sign out, finish, start activity, new intent. We are in our forgot password page. Where are we send the user? Login page. .class. So what have we done? Regardless of the result of this task, we already have a Firebase auth that signed into our app. If the task is successful and that email exists in our database, that means we logged into our Firebase. And if the task is successful, we need to stop this access of this Firebase auth to our database and sign it out, finish this activity, destroy it, and refresh to start a new activity, which this new activity is transferring the user from the forgot password page to our login page. Then come down to your else. So we are handling if the task is not successful. We need to just toast message, please check your email address and try again. So how do we know that we have to write down this message? Because if the task is not successful, that means either this email doesn't exist, or it either is a wrong email or is something wrong with our Firebase. So we are going to let the user know, check the email address to they put it down as a correct way. And if that doesn't work, just suggest him to try again later. Just let me write down later here, and that will handle the work for us. So bring it up, minimize this method. We have finished here. So how the reset password, as you see, is a faded. That means hasn't been used anywhere. Where are we going to use it? Based on our comment, is going to be used inside the onCreate. Expand your onCreate method below your Firebase auth. Just simply write down some reset password method, and that's all handled. Let's start our app. If you open your app, it will automatically go into your welcome page. The main reason is because, as you remember from our previous video, we created a condition in our login activity, and we said whenever the user already logged in, and as long as they haven't logged out yet, it will transfer them to the welcome page directly, and that it will avoid to log in every time the user open up your app. Now we are in our welcome page. We are going to test our reset password. Just go to your menu, click on your update password. It will transfer you to the password page. If you click on reset password here, let's see what comes up. Whenever you click on reset password, nothing comes up. And the main reason is because we never initialized this reset password button to do something. So go back to your forgot password page, expand your method. Above your string, I do apologize for that. I forgot to write down the condition for our button. So above your string, below your debugger, just get a forgot password page view bending, det, reset password button, that set on click listener, set on click listener, new on click listener, and here it will open it up for you. Now what we have to do is we have to cut all of these codes we created here and put it inside this method. Why? Because whenever the user clicks on reset password button, then we are going to check hold this condition here. So just cut off here until your string, cut it off, and we are in our on click view, paste it here. As you see, the toast message doesn't work here. We are having an error here because we are inside another method. That's why the toast message doesn't work. Just delete it and create another one. Field cannot be empty. Simple as. Try our app one more time. Our app is ready. One more time, just click on menu, go back to your update password, and here we check. If we click on our reset password, see what comes up. The toast message shows the fields cannot be empty. Let's put a random email address, app@yahoo.com. So just simply invalid email address. Click on reset password, and here it will check if this email address, whatever the user puts here, exists in our Firebase auth or no. Just one more time, look at the toast, check your email and try again. So that means this email address or whatever the user puts here doesn't exist. So write down your current email address, password, and it will come back to our login activity, and the email verification to reset the password has been sent to our email address. So all set for now. So everything works fine. If we are going to recap what we have done, we set up an edit text in our XML and a button. The edit text, it will accept whatever the user puts as the email address that register to our app. Then we, in our forgot password page, we create a tag. We assign our view bending. We got an instance. We create a variables from Firebase auth. Then we set it up our content view. Here we got an instance from our Firebase auth class, and here we created a method, which that method checks if the user exists in our Firebase or no, and then it will send the email link to them to reset the password. Here, whenever the user clicks on reset password button, we are coming down here. We're creating a variable here as a string. Then we check if this email address or this edit text section is empty or no. If it is empty, we show a toast message error to the user to let them know the field cannot be empty. If it is not empty, that means the user already put in something. Then here we used our variables here, the Firebase auth. Then we got a method for it to sending a password reset email, assign our string email to it, and we created another task to check if the task or sending password email is successful or no. If it is successful, we're signing out the current user, we destroy the activity, and we send the user from our forgot password page to their login page. If the task is not successful, then we let the user know there is something wrong with their email address or is our Firebase. And lastly, we just used our method in our onCreate to have a nested code and readable code. If you do have any question, as usual, please write down in a comment and I will answer them as quick as I can. Other than that, I will see you all in next video. Thanks for your time and watching.